back. Viewers, a very interesting policy change has taken place. Another one was recommended, but at least one has now been accepted by the centre. For those of you who have got a Covishield dose or are probably planning to get a Covishield dose, you must know this. The gap between the two doses, the two vaccine doses, has now been changed. In fact, when Covishield was initially given the approval and brought in, when we started our vaccination drive in the month of January, the gap between the two doses is supposed to be 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. A few months later, it was changed and the centre advised, so did the vaccine maker, that the vaccine gap can be 6 to 8 weeks between the two doses. Several of the nations like United Kingdom actually made it a policy. They hardwired this in their policy to say the dose gap has to be so much. They obviously did so because it buys them more time to bring in more supply so that more number of first dose people can be vaccinated before they come back for the second round. But we didn't do that. We stuck to the 4-week policy. We advised 6 to 8 weeks and while CoWIN portal didn't show that change, on ground this is what people were being told to do. This gap has now been extended to 12 to 16 weeks. Does it make any change? Is this better? What does the study say? Of course, it will help in easing the pressure on the demand for doses, especially when we are staring at a shortage for those eligible for their second dose, which is a very concerning thing across the country right now. This is perhaps going to help in that front. But is it going to be effective? That's what the concern is for many people. So I decided to bring in two of our favorite experts joining us on this conversation. Dr. Virendra Singh Chauhan, Emeritus Professor for International Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotech, and Dr. Subramanian Swaminathan, Director for Infectious Diseases and Clinicals Global. Dr. Chauhan, let me start off with you. We've always had conversations of extending this gap. We've spoken about even 8 to 12 weeks, but what was recommended finally and has been accepted by the centre is 12 to 16 weeks. Is this also basis what we've seen in other countries?
So, I'll just qualify what I'm going to say with this thing that Covishield is a good vaccine. It is safe. It's probably the vaccine that has been given to the largest number of people all across stable. What I'm going to say that the AstraZeneca own trials have been really up and down. I've seen up and down right from the very day one. They had a low dose controversy and so on and so forth. As you already said very clearly, that England was at the peak of their second wave and had closed down. The mutant had already arrived. And there was stated policy of the government of UK saying that we would like to immunize as many people as possible. And of course, Oxford Group has already done small trials. These are not results of phase 3 trials. These are results of sub-trials.
Dr. Chauhan, if I may just come in, Dr. Chauhan, if I may just come in, I believe your pet dog is extremely agitated about something and we're not able to hear you properly. So I'm just going to give you some time until he calms down and whatever it is that is agitating him goes away. I will come back to you in just a couple of minutes. I'm sorry for this, but we're not able to really hear you as much. Dr. Swaminathan, let me come to you on this aspect as well. Your views.
Looks like more than just humans are being agitated by the whole process of what's happening with the vaccines. No, but jokes apart. See, we are being forced to reinvent ourselves on the ground basically because of necessity. And we are not the only people to do that. See, this concept of doing heterologous vaccination, give one shot of one and one shot of the other, we are not the first people in the country to do, the first people in the world to do that. There have been other countries which have even thought about it and kind of pushed through it. There have been countries which have been forced to make last-minute changes where a group of people got one shot and then they had to get another shot and things like that. In a pandemic kind of a situation where resources are stretched, we do have to think on our feet and try and move as quickly as possible. Of course, we could have pivoted a little faster. So this concept of moving to 90 days is something we should have done a little earlier to stretch our doses. But I'm happy that we have done that. Yes, it's going to be a little confusing given that we have a couple of vaccines in the mix. And obviously, this directive only stands for one vaccine. So that involves a lot of management on the ground with regards to the paperwork and also patients not getting confused and things like that. So to make our vaccine reserves last a little longer and to help more people, it does make sense. I wish we had done this a little earlier, but it's okay. It's still a good idea and it's better late than never.
Okay, so you're saying it's a good idea, better late than never. Before I can actually go on to the second aspect, and I think that's going to be extremely interesting as well. Dr. Chauhan, let me see if I can come back to you, and if your pet has now calmed down.
That is, very quickly, the vaccine, COVID shield is based on a viral vector vaccine. And the information that is going to filter out pretty soon
Yes.
here. There are 3 other vaccines which are which have been approved based on the same platform. Now, Johnson & Johnson, as you remember, is being touted as a single shot vaccine based on the same technology. Sputnik V has now already come out with a version called Sputnik Light. It has been already approved, again, a single shot vaccine. CanSino Chinese vaccine based on the same platform saying that you can do it by vaccines. But Oxford Group showed it long back that the immunity which you get with single dose can last for about 3 months. And UK government, because of their peak of pandemic at that time, extended it. And stated policy. In fact, Boris Johnson went on television and saying we are going to extend as much as possible. So scientifically, it is on a subset of a group. It's a proven now that but I'm quite intrigued scientifically that the all viral vector vaccine, and you're going to hear this tomorrow, if not tomorrow, day after, that Sputnik Light is one dose, Johnson is 1 dose, CanSino, of course, nobody's talking about, is 1 dose. So clearly, 1 shot of vaccine does protect you for longer period. And of course, the results say that you must come out with a second shot. So I totally agree with the decision, which is little bit taken a little bit late, that you can wait for 12 weeks. I'll just say to the viewers, you might think scientists keep confusing you about this virus. Today is this and tomorrow is this. Please don't take that seriously. In the sense, virus is a new virus. We are finding things are changing on daily basis. For example, single shot vaccines are suddenly going to emerge. But this is based on the moving research as it comes. What is very, very important is that as many of us as possible should get vaccinated as soon as possible, because the virus doesn't get as much chance to mutate and doesn't become another problem, mutant versus vaccines rather than virus versus humans. So.
Yeah, okay, absolutely. So it's good to know that both of you agree that this is a fine move and 12 weeks of a gap is good. Let me ask you about the other one, which hasn't been accepted but was recommended by the technical advisory group to the government, which is to say that if you've been infected with COVID, then from the date of your recovery, you should wait about 6 months. Is that, so far we were being advised by everybody 2 weeks or 2 to 4 weeks would be a sufficient amount of time before you get your vaccination shot. How's that changed, Dr. Swaminathan?
Okay, so there are a couple of points. Generally, we don't vaccinate immediately after a viral illness because our immunity may not be as usual. And especially if you've received things like steroids where your immune system has been depressed to some extent, you may not get the full benefit of the vaccination. So that's one reason to delay the vaccine a little bit. That's number one. Second thing is that you also have the benefit of the wind in your sails from the infection itself. And therefore, that's going to take you forward with some safety for some extent. Now, exactly how long this is subject to a little debate. Most data would suggest that 3 months is an acceptable period of time. 6 months is probably stretching it. I have patients who have had twice infection. In fact, the shortest I've had is little under 6 months. The first time with COVID and the second time with severe COVID going on to high flow nasal cannula, discharged last month. So the point is, I think 6 months is cutting it too fine. 3 months is probably okay. But I suspect this is probably, again, to make those stocks last a little longer. And again, remember, moving target, like he said, so the point is that I would rather get the vaccine as quickly as possible. I wouldn't be comfortable sitting around for 6 months waiting for my turn with the vaccine if I had a choice.
So
Dr. Chan, would you agree?
Tani, I'll just add to this. I totally agree with this. I think the safer period is 6 to 8 weeks. You can extend it to 8 weeks. Again, this is again based on data. We had no idea how long the natural immunity is going to last. And if it wanes, to what level it wanes. I don't think even today we have a good quality data. And remember, these data will come from different populations. So extending it to 6 months will be a leap of faith. And I personally, if I were to be vaccinated, no. But yes, 6 to 8 weeks, you are protected by the strain of virus that has infected you. And since that is a currently running around virus, so you're quite safe for about 2 months. So between 2 months to 3 months, or after 3 months, you should get vaccinated. I would not trust my natural immunity to protect me anything beyond that time. And you might argue that why don't we test people for antibody? Okay, you can test them, but polyclonal antibody response is one thing, but do we have neutralizing antibody enough? That becomes a very complicated issue. So safer issue for a public consumption would be 3 months is safe enough. As we know now, I would say today, 3 months is good enough, but 6 months is stretching a bit too much. I totally agree with Sanvi. Sanvi.
Perhaps that's why that recommendation hasn't already been accepted, and we'll wait to see what happens on that. But at least good. I think a few days ago we were having this conversation as to when states began to suspend their 18 to 44 vaccination and divert those talks to the second dose of 45, as to why is the government not looking at extending the gap when there is possibility for that, when there is a window available. The government seems to have done that today. So let's hope that eases some pressure. As long as it's implemented on ground, people are informed about it, and the CoWIN portal actually reflects this change as well. Thank you so much to both of you gentlemen for joining us on this conversation.
Thank you, Tanvi.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
Thank you.